Happy Thursday, guys. How's everyone doing today? How are you, Miko?
Hey, y'all. I'm fine, girl. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great, honey. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sidebar with Miko and Sam.
Yeah.
I'm your co-host, Sam. That's Miko.
Yeah.
Uh, so today, guys, we want to talk about a particular topic that might be affecting some of you. I know for me personally, it's been a real, it's been it's
It,
been a challenge.
it
I'll just say it's
has.
been one heck of a challenge to kind of navigate and to figure out. And that topic today is supporting your children in the absence of their other parent.
Yeah.
Now,
Good
I will
topic.
say, yeah, absolutely. I will say that it's this absence is broad. We're not just talking about one area.
Yeah.
Like they could be absent financially, but they can also be absent emotionally. The other parent could be absent psychologically, spiritually, and financially.
Right.
And spiritually, sorry. So we know as the custodial parent, the one who's there in and out, we see the changes that our kids are going through. We're there every day. We're taking them to the appointments. We're
Yeah.
grocery store. We're paying the bills. We're being that listening ear.
Daily.
And right. And so,
Girl.
honey, so let's just talk about some of those challenges. So for you, Miko, could you just give us like this is kind of a touchy subject for me, only because I don't want to bash someone.
Yeah.
That's not the goal. That's not the goal of this broadcast. The
Yeah.
goal of this broadcast is this is a real issue that's affecting many people, many
Yeah.
households. So we're just looking for solutions.
Yeah.
So this broadcast is about solutions. It is less about bashing someone in their absence, and it's more about what can we do as the parents that are standing in the gap to support our children.
Yeah.
So, Miko, do you have any comments? Is there anything you'd like to share just to give the people more background? I mean, I'll definitely go second.
Yeah.
Is
I
there
mean,
anything
I think the most important thing is to be there, is to be
okay.
present.
Mhm.
If the other parent is already absent, whether it's a man that's there and the mom just done burnt out, you know what I'm saying? Whether
Right.
it's the woman that's there and they don't have any access to their other parent.
Right.
If you're the one that's there, be there.
Okay.
Sometimes that stuff could get hard. And like you said, you don't want to ruffle no feathers, like, but
Yeah.
it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't about bashing, but you know what? It's hard though, when you
Yeah.
have to be that parent and then you don't want to say certain things because it could come off negative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it could come off as if you're trying to say something about one other parent, and you're really not trying to say anything. You're just trying to raise your child. So yeah,
Right.
I feel like the best thing that we could do is be present, mentally supportive, all of those things. You know what I mean? Financially, emotionally,
Yeah.
it, it,
Yeah.
it could be a thing. But I just want to say this one. I just want to say this.
Sure.
That communication is just so important. Wait a
Yes.
minute. Come here, man. Girl, look, he like, me too, include me.
Okay.
I'm not. Give me a kennel. No. But look, I mean, I could cut this out, but listen, but that's the main, you see, but the main thing is just being present. What about you? Like, how do you maneuver through, the other parent not being there? Like,
oh, girl,
I do
was
have another question, but answer that first, Sam. But I really do have one more question I want to ask you.
okay. How do I maneuver? Okay, and what's the other one?
Like, do you communicate? Like, do you communicate with the other parent? Like, what if you can't? Because see, with my situation, I communicate with him, but girl, some days it's like, you know how you scratch your nails against a chalkboard and it's like cringy. But then some days it's like, you know what? Oh, I'm ready to talk to him. But that's just my situation. Some people's just like, hell no, never, ain't, never. Oh, nope.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wrote down both those questions. I definitely have an answer for both. So how do I maneuver? Well, first this was hard for me. This just getting over this first hurdle. I'm talking about like, this was the guy we got married young.
Yeah.
We had our children young. I mean, well, I was younger. He was 10 years older than me. I had my first my first child at 20. And then 2 years later, I had my daughter that was in the same marriage. And pretty much after I had my daughter, I knew it was over. I was literally or I was literally like, I wasn't going to church or anything like that, but I
Like
knew there was
immediately?
like I was like, God, if you get me out of this situation, like I'll never return,
Me
you
too.
know, ever.
Oh God.
And we didn't. I mean, he
Yeah.
tried to, you know, he wanted to reconcile. I was like, oh no, it's not gonna work. So all of that was just a big mess. It was a big mess. And so the first hurdle for me when I realized that we were not going to be together raising our children in the same house, I had to not take that personal.
Mm,
Yeah, because
yeah.
yeah, I had to not take it personal. And it took me a while to get there, y'all. I won't even sit here in front. Um, because shortly after that, you know, sometimes they can show their behind and they can be like, well, you know, well, they make these fake promises, these false promises. Hey, I'll be there Friday. I'll have this Friday. Friday come around. Well, you know, and you know, and or they would start an argument, or you know, it was just
Yeah.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
so that's and after that happened a couple times, I was like, okay, so this has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I'm in the trenches. I'm obviously caring for the children, feeding them, making sure they're bathed, taking them to school. They're babies, you know, they're 2 years old and younger, and I'm working. By this time, you know, I got to go back to work. So I had to not take it personal.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to just suck it up and put on my big girl underwear and just make it work, you
Yeah.
know. So that's how I learned. That was the biggest thing for me to do. And once I realized that, hey, this isn't my battle, this is something you got going on internally with you, you know, I'm gonna pray for you, but I'm gonna be here for them, you know, because this
Mm-hmm.
is my priority. You know, these kids changed my life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would be extremely regretful if I took the easy way out. I'll just put it that way. So how do I communicate? Which leads me to your other question. How do I communicate? And what if I cannot? Yeah, there wasn't a lot of communication. There
So
wasn't a
even
lot.
with the kids though, did he communicate with the child though still?
Um, well, he did, but it wasn't healthy communication. And I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest. It would be like, hey, so I'm gonna come and get you. We're gonna come and hang out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come see you. And he would never come.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like you have to deal with that. Like the kids they're upset.
Yeah.
They would cry. It would like tear my heart out because it's like how the hell could you do that? You know, and so it just came to a point in time to where, you know, I would never like if he wanted to call and talk to them, I would never stop that from happening. But him and I had to have a conversation. I'm like, listen, you don't have to deal with the ramifications of you not showing up. You're not the one who has to lay in the bed with them and wipe their little sad faces when they're crying because you don't show up or you don't do what you say you're going to do. Whatever you got going on, just keep that over there. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, as they got older, they were able to stay the night with them, but that's like the extent that would happen.
Yeah.
So now we're here. These kids, they were once kids, now they're 21 and 19.
Yeah.
And this is the thing I don't think the other parent thinks about.
Mhm.
And it's unfortunate, but he's in the hole. He's in the hole. A lot of money, in the thousands
Yeah.
of dollars. He's in the hole.
Yeah.
And I think it's expected of, I think he has an expectation of me to go to the clerk of the court and to write that off. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah. You like,
I'm not going to nobody. No, I'm not gonna be able to do that.
Yeah.
They're good and grown, and I get it. And
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, but he missed the mark. Like, you know, and I understand that a lot of guys have issues with being on child support and just certain things like that. But I mean, dude, you was not there. I mean, I had to do this. Like, you want some recognition. Like, I get it. And like I said, every situation is different. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. But like, did he ever try to talk bad? Because like, what if a lady is listening right now and she's like, you know, he just keeps talking about me to my children, or he's talking about my boyfriend, or he's talking about this and that. Like, how do you deal with that? Or did you not have to deal with those?
Girl, I understand. Like you can't take it personal. Like somebody has to be the villain, Nico. Somebody has to the bad person, and 9 times out of 10, the person who was really not there is not going to take the blame.
Yeah.
They're gonna project it onto the other parent who was. And again, they're not thinking these children, they grow up and they become adults, and they've had time to sit and assess the situation, especially if you're like us and you don't badmouth. Like I never had, okay, so I had girlfriends, I would talk shit with them. But I would never to my kid, because I need an outlet.
I mean, and that's the thing that we want you to listen to. If anyone is listening and you need to know, like, certain things, like, how am I going to get through this? No, I'm going to tell him, no, that's the key. You cannot do that. That's what brought you to listen to us today. Don't bash him. Don't do this and that. Make arrangements, put things in place to where, you're protecting your child, and don't listen to a whole lot of outsiders, because they don't know. All they saying is, oh, he needs to be with his daddy, or she needs to be with her mama. If that mama ain't worth nothing, why?
Right.
I mean, I ain't saying to do something negative, but you have to be the one to put stuff in place. Just like when you said, like, I had to ask God, like, to take me. That's what I wrote down. Like I told in 2011, I was like, Lord, if you get me out this situation, I promise you, blase, I would do this and the third.
Ever.
And he started putting stuff in place, and I was like, okay. But then I eventually started back communicating with him. But after 2011, I never got back in terms of, oh, let's give this another go. Let's do this. And no, I was still trying to keep up the whole co-parenting thing. But listen, it's going to be a tough road, but it could be an easy one if you got communication, prayer, just certain things. If you guys can communicate within your household, it don't matter what he say or nobody else say to try to break something that's in your house. It's going to be kind of hard. I ain't saying that they can't, ruffle, cause some friction, but, let God deal with that. Let him deal with it. You deal with it too, though. I ain't saying you just sit up there praying that God, please. Nah, pray to God and then get some action going.
Get some action going, and understand that you won't always be in the situations. Like God turns, like the tables, they do turn. And when you turn, like you don't have to go out and be vindictive. You don't have to add fuel to the fire. The only thing that you really need to be doing is focusing on yourself, bettering the situation, explaining to the children to the best of their abilities. Don't give them too much information, but just let them know, hey, this can happen in life, even with the best intentions. Like I said, even with the best intentions, even if you meet someone, you're friends for a long time, you do everything that they say you're supposed to do, your friends, you get married, you have all that stuff still falls apart. You know what I'm saying? It can still fall apart. But at the end of the day, I've always told my kids, well, I've just come to the conclusion that, without your father, you wouldn't be who you are. You wouldn't be my Andrew. You wouldn't be my Avalon. You would be someone else. And for that, I'm grateful. Whatever hell I had to pay, whatever hell I had to go through.
I mean, because it's gonna come back to you, girl.
Yeah, but again, when those tables turn, baby, no one can turn a table like God. Let me tell y'all, I've seen there's no one like the stuff that I have seen in my own life. I was like, God, I see why you got it, because I wouldn't have thought of that. And it's not that it's not anything bad that happened to them. I was like, oh, you deserve it. No, it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It was just like, wow. And honestly, it's made me become more aware of how I treat people. If anything, I've had to examine myself. But I just want to answer the question that you had real quick. I don't think I answered it. But it's like, I think you had said, how do I deal with them talking crap about me or whatever? So he tried it probably like a year ago. Like I said, my kids are older, and he tried to say, your mama is this, your mama is that, your mama. And like my daughter's 19, and she was like, well, first of all, she called me by my name. She's like, first of all, we're not gonna talk about Samantha. Okay. Honey, not listen. My kids will get with you. And they were like, listen, yes, Samantha was here. She was like, there is nothing you can say. You can see Samantha smoke crack on the street. What you can't come to tell me is that there's nothing you can say about Samantha to me. Yeah. I was like, okay, baby. And so she ended up hanging up on him, but I know, like, I know that energy, like you either have to hang up or it's going to be a shouting, cursing match. So just know that like, oh, Miko, I don't know if I told you this. I've also got a call from the same absent parent telling me, well, you know, Sam, I just wanted to thank you. Sam, I
It
just wanted
happens. Oh, God will make your enemy your footstool type of.
Sam, I just wanted to thank you for
God.
just raising some wonderful kids. I know I played no part in this.
Yes.
I know I played no part in this, and I just want to thank you for being who you are in their lives. I have
Yes.
some wonderful children,
Yeah.
and glory be to God. You know what I'm saying? Like, because God used my kids to turn my life around, to turn me back to him.
Yes.
At the end of the day, he really did. He really did. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for that, because yes, like you said, Miko, you can pray, but you got to put some action behind it. You have to be an encouraging parent, even while you're discouraged.
Yeah.
You have to, like, you just have to see your kids as a garden. Mm-hmm. You have to see them as a garden. And if you don't tend to your garden, what are you going to grow? Weeds are going to come, you know, like your garden's going to be told, like you have to tend to that garden every single day. You have to love it. You have to water it. You have to feed it. You have to root out the things that you like. You have to. You know, at the end of the day, there's no greater joy than the joy that I have now. I think we talked about it on another episode. There's no greater joy than looking at my kids and having the relationship that I do have. And I know it's because of all the time and all the effort and all the love that I put into it. So yeah, Miko. So yeah. So what are your thoughts right now? What are you thinking?
I mean, I think I agree with everything, especially when you say, you know, you never talk bad, you know, it'll come back, because it did. The same things happen to me all the time. My ex always tell me, oh, you're doing such a great job, and you this and you that. And I know it wasn't because of me, or it wasn't this and that, you know, maybe financially, you know, I helped you, or shit, even then it wasn't, I you know, he was just, you get all the credit, mentally, physically, financially, you get all the credit. Like, I mean, just bowing down constantly. But see, now I don't even take that. I don't even care. Thank you. I appreciate it. But see, sometimes with mine, he come back later on when the kids ain't really fucking with him, and it's like, it's you. It's your fault. Fuck you. Or something. It's like, wait, I thought I was just
the greatest thing since sliced bread. Stop playing with me.
Yeah, you know, but I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, well, let me tell you how to fix that.
Right.
Because they're not little no more. We can't lie to them no more. We can't, it don't work that way no more. You know what I'm saying? So you have to hold yourself accountable and ask yourself, why are they feeling like that? You know, because minds are put, you know, they say, no, mama ain't did this or that. No, mama did. Nope. They don't want to hear it. You know, so it happens like that, but that's God doing that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, wow, you know, if had I bashed them and had I just was like, you know, girl, ooh, he does, like you said to your girlfriends, possibly, or even with some of them, like girl, God is good. He just, even now he's doing things.
Okay. He's doing things. Come on, Miko, give us a little bit, just a little bit.
He is, you know, how sometimes we'll just feel like, oh no, I'm not, this is not, girl, we're supposed to be talking about, girl.
Go down, come on now.
Right. Come on. You know how we just feel like sometimes you'll be like, you'll see people getting blessed in front of you.
Okay.
See, I'm finna go off subject, but I'm gonna go right back.
Go ahead.
And you'll just be like, Lord, what am I doing?
Yes.
I know I ain't did this, that, and the third, but I did this, that, and this.
Right.
He's just so good to where if you really pay attention and if you let him, and it's like, I'm letting him. If somebody else tell me you gotta let God do something, do not say that to me. Because one thing I do is let him. And then he's trying to figure something out. Like, I can't get, it's a piece that's missing that I don't know what he needs from me.
Right.
Whether it's you working with your kids, whether it's your business or whatever, it's like it's a piece that's missing to where I can't prosper. And I'm not trying to pay attention to it because if I do that, it's gonna make me depressed. It's gonna make me sad. I gotta figure out what am I doing wrong. And you know you're not the type of person that look at somebody else's blessings and put it on to you or figure out why them, not me. You know that can't nobody walk in the face of this earth tell you that you cannot do that to yourself. Look at what everybody, look, why is he doing that for them? Why? And you cannot do that. You know, and you know that.
Right. Right.
But sometimes if you're dwelling and you're praying and you're trying, and it's like, okay, I feel like I'm living on my knees. You know what I'm saying? I'm living on my knees, and everybody else is living on their knees, but not living on their knees like me.
Right.
What's the disconnect here, God? I know I can't make you do nothing. But girl, when I tell you, you have to cut everything off. And we say that, but you have to. That's the most loneliest thing. But if you got a man that you got and he can stick with you, you better don't listen to no women. Get off line, all of that. Get away from everything and everybody and let that man nurture you and get what he needs. You know what I'm saying? And no, cut everybody off at least for a month or whatever you got to do. But if you're like me, single, trying to figure it out, man, God, you just got to pray and stay connected to him, man. Yeah. I got more I want to say, Sam. I really do, because I got a point that I want to curve around to, but I'm learning how to do it. And that's another thing that he's doing for me. Like, this is why, because you don't know how to do this yet. I don't have this for you yet. Even with my books I was reading, I'm like, what the hell did I just say? I even got to fix that. If I get a million things right now, no, Chase needs some stuff in it that it needed. I'm like, oh God, thank you. Yeah. But it could be right there in your face, but you don't know it. But you got to disconnect. If all of that stuff, like I told my son, he was like, Mom, I had to get off Instagram because I was seeing so much stuff. I was getting jealous, Mama. He was like, so I had to get off of it. And then he was like, I started getting on Snapchat, and I don't get jealous on Snapchat. But I'm like, well, baby, you got to figure it out, because I want you to be able to see other people have stuff and not get jealous. So we working through it. But some of that shit that I was telling him, I had to place it upon myself. And then, girl, God was like, just showing me, this is why. And now can we get back to the kids? But it's a lot though, Sam. Did I make sense with any of that?
Yeah, I'm sure you made sense to me. And actually I had to start writing because I ain't want to interrupt, but yeah.
I mean, you just have to stay prayed up, and we keep talking about it. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I put you in everything. Maybe I got to stop God this, God that. No, you need to God this, God that. He's getting you, man, I'm telling you. And not just for me. I've seen it. Like, it's like he put people in my face, and then I see certain things, and then people will call me, and I'm just like, dang. But online, I was seeing a certain thing. But then you got her and her calling me for this, that, and the other. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you still got to disconnect. Everything that we tell you, you just got to do. Not we, but he. Right. You got to keep that relationship. That's what we tell you. But you have to. And if you got somebody that you can connect with, please.
Oh my, by all means.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta cut people off, man. And I ain't saying cut them off in a bad way. You just got to disconnect, you know, because everybody taking trips and doing this and doing that. You have to stop for a minute, be still. Even with the money that you got, be still, you know?
Absolutely. So you were talking earlier, and I picked up I know y'all saw me, I picked this up and I started writing. And it was actually something I wanted to say earlier, but listening to you brought it back around. What I will say is this, you do, like, if you find yourself in this situation where you're supporting your family, your children in the absence of another parent, it's been my experience, and I can only tell you about what I've been through. You know, don't take it personal, and find a way to be encouraged and be I don't want to just be available to learn something new about yourself. Because what I will say is this, if there had not been that particular problem, if I had not had children, gone through that whole situation, just been like, I was just spent, I was done, I was just tired, I was exhausted, all that other stuff. If I had not endured that particular struggle, Miko, I wouldn't have been forced to be creative. Yeah. To find solutions, to find a way that works. I would like God pushed me to use the brain that he gave me, the creativity that he gave me. And I would dare to say, I would not be the business owner that I am today. I would not be here working for myself today. I would not be able to teach my children how to be entrepreneurs, how to think outside the box, how to, because my older two kids, they don't want to go to college. And you know what? I had to listen to them and understand that that's okay. That's okay as long as you have a plan. Yeah. As long as you have a plan. That's okay. And as long as you're working the plan. So
Right.
I just want to, I'm done after this. After hearing what you said, it just reminded me of just how low I got in that, because there's gonna be some low lows. There's gonna be some low.
Especially, Sam, I'm sorry for interrupting, but especially if you're listening to us and if you're like a housewife.
Mhm,
Listen, a housewife has a very hard job when you got to take care of your husband, take care of your kids, take care of the house and
mhm.
stuff like that. Because some people don't have a two-parent working household. They have just, them housewives, man, I'm telling you, you can get depressed and sad and in a sunken place to where it ain't got nothing to do with race. It's just a sunken place to where you don't even take care of yourself. And then you're just so lost. You could get, man, like, go ahead, Sam. But
No, I was there. It's like you keep tapping into stuff. I was there. I stayed at home. And I watched the kids and I lost myself.
yeah.
I didn't go to work. I didn't have social hour with friends. I didn't go to the bars. I didn't do all these things because I was home with the kids and I lost myself for a while. And it wasn't until I had to move on with my life and got reestablished somewhere with my kids, and until I started thinking about, hey, what is it that I wanted anyway? Who am I? What do I want to do with my life? What talents do I have? What gifts do I have? And that's what I'm saying. I'm just sitting here telling you guys that I felt like I was forced to either become creative,
Mm-hmm.
or for things to kind of stay where they were, to not really know who I was, not really know what I wanted. And it was the best. It was the hardest, hardest, but most rewarding experience ever. So I just want to encourage the ladies or the men on the line who's watching our broadcast. I do realize that women do walk away from their children. I know of a few men who's the mother of their child has just gone on to she just wanted to do other things. So I know that exists. So this isn't just about ladies getting together. It's about parents. It's about that glue, that nucleus of the family, just understanding that yes, it's like this, but no, it's not always going to be like this. And there's a way out. If you just hold on, if you have somewhere, let's just say you don't believe in Christ, okay, that's fine. Whatever your spiritual roots are, I just encourage you to be grounded in something, someone bigger than you, and to understand your purpose and to realize your purpose no matter what. Because, whatever it is that we believe in, there's 9 times out of 10, there's an opposing force that doesn't want us to reach our potential. Right.
Yeah.
So you just have to understand that because of that, there's going to be some obstacles. And I'm talking about some obstacles that will knock you back, that will knock you on your knees, that will knock you back, that will knock the breath out of you.
Yeah.
But you just have to keep going, if not for yourself. Because sometimes you don't want to go for yourself, but you turn around and you got that smiling face coming through the door from school.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's you knocking your damn self out though.
That too.
And it's you standing in your own way. Or, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. Fear can stop so many things. Fear of not having that support that you have for that woman or for that man or whatever. And then if you are a man raising your kids solo by yourself, it's going to be hard for you to try to support yourself, then trying to support your children, especially if you have multiple children. Then they're dealing with things mentally, emotionally, financially. They're trying to figure out, how am I going to do this financially? And then you have in your head already, I don't want to raise them like I was raised. I want them to have a bank account, or I want them to do this and that. But then it's like, how can you teach that when you're going to work 8 to 10 hours a day? Then you got to come home. You want to start a business because you see so much. And then social media, I don't care who you are. A lot of people always talking about, I don't be on Facebook. I don't be on that. Yes, you do. You have, and some people don't. Some people don't. But you have to find time. You have to find time to try and figure out what it is, what plan. If I'm a single mother, let me form a plan. How am I going to fix this with my husband or my wife? Or how am I going to get out of this thing with my wife or with my husband? Let's go to counseling. Let's talk to God. Let's do this. Let's put a plan in place. Let's eliminate social media. If you eliminate that just for a minute, and I hate to keep on talking about that here because we on YouTube and Facebook right now talking, but you still have to, we ain't going nowhere. People ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Tune in to your own household. Man, I'm telling you, this country is being ran by something else, not ourselves. As soon as we get on there, we're embedded. Something is happening and it's not God. You know what I'm saying? We have that connection with God, but when you want that thing to happen, I'm telling you, or at least I can speak for myself. When I wanted that thing to happen, he started showing me this is why that thing couldn't happen. And I could not believe it because sometimes he just don't answer. I'm just like, oh, let me just keep on working. Let me keep doing it. Let me keep parenting. Let me keep saving my money. I need to do this photo shoot. I need to do that. I need to do that. But no, I don't have a man I call. So what I'm going to do is budgets. Wear some old shit that I always wear. Still going to be cute. You know what I'm saying? Do I want to go get some facials and lashes and all that? I can't do all of that stuff, but every now and then you want to get a beat. No, I don't get beat. I don't do none of that. And I know that if I do post something that's beat to death, oh, everybody gonna flood me. But that's not who I am. Y'all like that fake shit. And I can't do that. That's not what God wants me to do. It's gonna take me a little longer to get where he's trying to get me to. But I do this myself. I do my own. You just gotta figure it out. Even if you got money, spend that shit, do it. But girl, I seen Miss Pam, she was talking about her community. She got like 50 houses.
I've seen her. I know who you're talking about.
And I'm like, man, even Jay-Z, he'd be like, get you a piece of land. I own something. And I know people ain't gonna listen to people like me, or maybe even you. I don't know, because we ain't rich. You know, we ain't flossing in a boat. I don't know. But that don't mean we don't know what we're talking about. God got us. We're not struggling this. Some of the people struggling more than us.
Right. I mean, for me, it would behoove me to listen to someone who has lived or is living how I am. Like, I want to know, first of all, can you relate to me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you're off able to do all these great things, good for you. Good for you. Tell me how you got there. Yeah. And if you're contentious like me, tell me how you're able to maintain. How did you not give up? I'm not saying I want to give up, but what kept you going? What was your why? You kept getting these no's. What made you keep going till you got a yes? You know, stuff like that. Like what?
And I like that too. Versus giving us the meat that we can't eat. Yeah, you could do that, baby, because you had $10,000 to start out with, or you had $100,000 to start out with, and you got your mama and your daddy present. And it's just certain things that they miss out on. So that's why I listen to an array of people, and I listen to myself, and I just tune everybody out and try to see what's working for me. You know, I can't compare zero. I have to see, Mika, where are you right now? You know, even when I did leave, you know, in 2011, when I said I left, I said, okay, when you go to work, I'll make sure I go get the U-Haul truck. I said, I'm gonna go get the U-Haul truck. I had already been saving up money. I told God, if you help me with this, and if this is what's supposed to happen, please put this in place for me to leave. And he started working that thing out. An apartment, a building that I knew that I couldn't get without my husband's name on there. No, God worked that out for me. I talked to the landlord, and she was like, no, I could do it. I see what you're trying to do. And he started putting that thing in place, girl. Yeah. Because you see, I was serious. I was no longer afraid. And I said, you know what? If everybody see that I'm broke, it's like, Mika, you ain't gonna be able to have this, that, and the third. You still push through. And I pushed through, you know, and I was trying to see, okay, how am I gonna do this? Then if kids need to get there, I need to pick them up. But then if I work, then I'm gonna do that. Because if I use this money for that, I'm gonna have to see how am I gonna work. But if I work, then this gonna mess this money up, girl. I was like, you got to budget that shit out and try to figure it out.
You better.
You know, but some women, you got multiple men and all of this stuff, and oh, girl, don't ask him for nothing. Well, why is he in your bed, baby? You know, I ain't saying be no prostitute or nothing, but come on, have some sort of worth of respect. Girl, I get to talking. That's all I'm saying, Sam. That's it for me. I just basically really want to tell people, if you want something, go for it. Put a plan together. Whether, like I said, the housewife thing, whether you're a single parent, whether you just that one parent, man or woman, put a plan together and communicate. Touch on them kids, kiss on them, love on them, so that they won't feel so awkward to get a hug or kiss from you. They reach out, hug or kiss from somewhere else, but no, touch on them, love on them. Touching is very, very important to get that humanly body contact, especially from a mama or a daddy. Like, girl, I don't hug that little dude since he's about 10 years. I don't do that no more. Well, you should.
You should. You should, absolutely.
That's it for
Yeah.
me, Sam.
Yeah, and in closing, that's absolutely standing in the gap. You're just if you got to give them an extra hug for the parent that's not there, whatever it is that you got to do, you just in closing for me, I feel the same way, Miko. It's a tough situation when you find yourself in something like this where you're supporting your children in the absence of the other parent. But it must be done. It must be done, and you just always remember that there's a reason why. Whether you live to see the reason or not, there's always a reason why things happen. Things just don't up and happen. And I don't care who you believe in. Things just don't up and happen. That's just not how this works. We're like way too connected to this place for anything to just happen. Your kids didn't just appear. You don't have, you're not in the situation just because. There's a deeper purpose and there's a deeper meaning to it. So y'all be encouraged. I hope this helped you for today. We out, right?
We out.
Y'all take care. Kiss
Yeah,
them, keep
talk to you.
y'all.
Right.